Today, I am going to share one of my newest teachings with you. And this is actually something I've never taught on the interwebs publicly before. I only shared it in my membership a couple months ago, but it is magical and I can promise you that you are going to love it. So, if you're ready to up-level and you are ready to figure out exactly what you need to take your business to the next level and cut out all the fluff, all the you should do this and I have to do that and you should be posting here's, this is the video for you. Stay tuned. I'm so pumped about today's video because, like I said, I've never taught this publicly and it is something that I'm super proud of, and you will totally understand why here in just a minute. But before I get started, I want to tell you about something really fun. I mentioned in the intro that I'd only taught this to my paid membership a couple months ago, and I actually just restructured my entire membership, changed it, rearranged it, all the things, and it is now my inner circle. It is only $37 a month, and each month there is monthly business coaching with me. There is a Q&A at the end of each business coaching session, a book club, and a monthly co-working session with your peers, a Facebook group with all your peers and myself, and all kinds of other fun things. So this is a membership like no other. There's not pre-built content in the membership. There's not things that are going to make you feel behind before you even get started. This is a month-to-month coaching opportunity to be coached in your business by me. It is not YouTube specific. It is not video specific. The main goal in every month's training is to up-level your business, to get you to that new level of success. And like I said, there's a book club every month. This month, in May, in the first month of the Inner Circle, we are reading How Successful People Think by John Maxwell. And each month it will be a different book on personal development or business development. And each month it will be a different topic. Now, this month, in the month of May, in the first month of the Inner Circle, we are talking about how to find the one thing that you need to focus on and how that will help you grow your business. So if you are struggling to focus on one thing, or you're constantly going between a bunch of things and like squirrel syndrome because you're multi-passionate, I am too, then this training will drastically help you. Here's the catch. The doors are only going to be open once a month for the next month. So every last full week of every month, the doors will open for you to join for the next month. So the doors are open right now for you to join in May. Here's the other catch. You will not get previous month's contents when you join. So if you want to make sure that you're getting every single month of training, you need to join now, because this is the first and only group of people who will get every month of training for the next year. If you join, let's say in July, then you're going to miss out on May and June's training. So to join, to check it out, figure out if you want to be a part of it, go to jessicasinnercircle.com, and I'll make sure to link that below and have it popping across the screen here. But it's all kinds of trainings just like this one that you're going to get on a massive level to help you up-level your success. So I'm super pumped for you to be in there. All right, so what I'm teaching you today is called the GRIT method. And yes, grit, like my podcast, G-R-I-T. And what was really fun is when I first started coming up with the name of the podcast, I came up with the name GRIT, and I was like, oh, I love that. I think that's amazing. But my brain wanted to make it an acronym, and I decided that it wasn't going to be an acronym unless I wanted it to be. So essentially, this is the GRIT method. I may have another GRIT formula or GRIT whatever in the future, but right now this is the acronym for GRIT and what you need to be super successful and highly, highly up-level your business. All right, so the GRIT method is something that I came up with because here's where I think the main problem is. We are being inundated with, you should be on YouTube, you should be on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, you need to post 3 times a day because then this happens, and then you need hashtags, and then you need to be on Pinterest, and you need to blog, and on YouTube, you need to post 3 times a week, and like all of this stuff like coming at us by people who've had success doing that we try to replicate. And here's what happens, I think, is that a lot of times people have success on a platform and it is duplicatable, but we don't realize how much work is going to go into that. And we don't realize that we're not going to have the exact success that they had with that thing. So if you're looking to up-level your business, honestly, it's not Instagram that's going to do that. It's not YouTube that's going to do that. It's not Pinterest or blogging that's going to do that. It is the grit method. And I can promise you this. So let's just get into what all the letters of grit stand for. So first and foremost, obviously, is the G. The G stands for goals. You need to have big, massive, exorbitant, but realistic goals in your business that you are constantly reaching for and going after. Because if you don't have the goals, then you can't do the things that lead you to it. So here's what's up. The goals are the driving force behind everything else that you do in your business. If you are doing tasks in your business, they should always be something that's going to get you towards one of these goals. So if you want to know how I recommend setting goals, I have a video that came out a couple weeks ago about that very thing, and I will link that above. But you want to set big, massive, scary goals, and then you want to make sure that everything you do is leading to that. So if your goal is to make $12,000 a month and you want to do all the things like on Instagram and YouTube and whatever, but you're already making $8,000 a month and you could scale that up very easily with another client or 2 more clients or whatever, then maybe posting on Instagram 3 times a day and getting on YouTube is not what you need to be doing right this second until you want to scale bigger or differently, right? So the goals, which is the G in this formula, are the underlying things that you're always working towards. So if you don't have those goals, you're not going to know what you're doing and why you're doing it. These are monetary goals. These are lifestyle goals. These are business lifestyle goals. So I only want to work 3 days a week. Whatever that is, that's what you're doing here. So make sure you have goals. If you need a little help setting those goals, I've got that video over there. So the R in grit stands for relationships. Guys, I can promise you that if you asked some of the most successful business people you look up to in any industry, if they did it completely by themselves, they would say no. They would say, no, I had this opportunity come up because I knew this person, or this happened because I knew this person. I guarantee if you go ask somebody who maybe got on a news channel that you want to get featured on, or got on a podcast that you want to get featured on, how they did it, their answer would be, well, I knew so-and-so and they connected me to so-and-so and this happened. So I really want you to focus heavily on building relationships. This is relationships with your peers, relationships with people above you, below you, and relationships with your clients and customers, because that is the core of the business. That's core of growing, and that is core of getting new doors open and new opportunities, is having these relationships that help build that. Now, I don't think at all, and this is not what I'm saying, so I want to clarify it, that you should be building relationships just for how they could help you. So let's say you have an opportunity to meet one of your idols. Let's say, I don't know, Amy Porterfield, for instance. You have an opportunity to meet Amy Porterfield, and your goal in it is to build a relationship so that you can be on her podcast. It's going to come across phony. Your goal should be to connect with her on a deeper level as a person, as a human, and so that you guys form an actual friendship and relationship, and then the other stuff will come naturally. And sometimes we don't click with people. That's okay. Don't form friendships with people you actually don't click with. So build relationships. Build relationships with the people you look up to. Build relationships with your peers. Build relationships with your clients and your customers. And really focus on being present in the relationships that are your business. All right, so the I in grit, is for intention. And what I mean by this is you have goals, right? You have these goals that you're working towards. And now I've said you need relationships that are going to help you do the things. You need to do everything you do with intention. You need to intentionally be posting on Instagram, not just posting to post. You need to intentionally be posting on YouTube to be found so that people will go down a rabbit hole. You need to intentionally do a podcast or post on Facebook or go to that conference or whatever. It all needs to be intentional to drive back to that goal. Because if you are going to a conference or an event and there's not a good intention behind it, there's not a, I want to accomplish this, and this behind why you're going, then you will come back disappointed and you will not have gotten any further on your goal or your relationship, which is the two reasons you should go to conferences. So make sure that everything you do in your business is intentional. It's intentional that you release that YouTube video because it's going to do X, Y, and Z for your business. It's intentional that you were on that podcast because it's going to do X, Y, and Z for your business. It's intentional that you picked this conference over this conference. It's intentional that you posted on Instagram at 2 p.m. because that's what time you know does best on your account, right? So be intentional with everything you do. That's the I in grit. And the last piece of the grit formula, which is the T, is tenacity. The people who are doing the best in business, the people who are making the most effect, the people that are causing the most eyeballs to look at them and they are growing the biggest, are the people who are making the most noise. So I have a hashtag on Instagram that's stand up, make noise. And that's exactly why. That's the name of my free Facebook group as well. I want you to stand up and make noise, but to do that, it takes balls and it takes hustle and it takes spunk and it takes tenacity. So that's where the T comes in. So you have to have tenacity to go after those goals because they're probably really scary. And you have to have tenacity to build those relationships because it's totally comfortable to be in our house, in our home office, in our living room and not go out and form the relationships that we need to form, whether that's on a Zoom call, that's like a coffee chat, or whether that's at a conference or locally or whatever. It takes tenacity to go after the things you want. And it's the people with the most tenacity, the most hustle, the most grit, honestly, that are going to be the furthest ahead because they didn't let the fears stop them. They didn't let the what ifs and the should I's stop them. They were like, nope, I have these goals and I'm going after them. So the grit formula is G for goals, R for relationships, I for intention, and T for tenacity. And if you want to know a deeper level of this, I'm releasing a podcast episode on Thursday. So this is coming out on Tuesday. On Thursday, a podcast episode on grit will go live, all about the grit formula, and I go a little bit more in depth on each one of these. But you can do this with this right here, with this video. You can absolutely say, what are my goals? What are the relationships I want to form? How am I going to do that with an intention? And what kind of things can I do to get more tenacity in my business? So again, the doors to Inner Circle are open. So if you want to join the Inner Circle, go to jessicasinnercircle.com and go check it out. Get more coaching just like this on a higher level because I can only do so much in a 12-minute YouTube video, right? So go get more coaching like this. Go get more information on what's going to help you up-level your business and hang out with your peers, hang out with me. I cannot wait to see you inside the Inner Circle. So it's jessicasinnercircle.com and the doors are only open this week. If you are watching after the doors have already closed, know that you can get on the wait list and that the doors open every single month for the following month. However, you will not get the previous month's contents. So make sure you join as quick as possible. I can't wait to see you on the inside and go get gritty. Bye, y'all.